It was supposed to be a quiet night, a simple evening with my wife, the love of my life. I was in the kitchen, chopping vegetables for her favorite dinner. She was working late, and I wanted to surprise her with a warm meal when she came home. But then, just as I was stirring the pot, I heard it, the sound of a car pulling up in front of our house. It was late. The only people who ever arrived at that hour were my wife and her colleague, who sometimes dropped her off after work. But tonight, something felt off. The engine shut off, but the headlights stayed on longer than usual. A strange chill crept down my spine. Then came the footsteps. They weren't the light, familiar steps of my wife. These were heavier, hurried, almost nervous. And then the doorbell rang. Who could it be at this hour? I wasn't expecting anyone else. Before I tell you what happened next, make sure to hit that subscribe button. You won't want to miss what's about to unfold. It's a story that will leave you questioning everything you think you know. Now, let's go back to that night. I wiped my hands on a towel, trying to shake the uneasiness creeping over me. My heart was beating faster now. Who was at the door? My wife's colleague never rang the bell. He always just knocked and let her in. The footsteps outside grew louder, closer, and a cold knot formed in my stomach. I walked to the front door, trying to calm myself down. I told myself it was probably just a lost traveler asking for directions. But when I opened the door, I froze. There he was. Standing in front of me was a man I knew all too well, my wife Lily's brother, Mark. His face was serious. There was something in his eyes I couldn't quite read. It wasn't a casual visit. He looked worried, maybe even afraid. "Can I help you?" I asked, trying to sound composed, though my palms were sweating. He hesitated before speaking. His voice was low, deliberate, like he was choosing every word with care. "Are you Tom?" I nodded, still unsure what this was about. "Yes, I am. What's going on?" "I need to talk to you," he said, glancing behind him toward the street, like he was checking if someone had followed him. "It's about your wife, Lily." My heart stopped. The moment he said her name, the rest of the world faded. His voice became a distant hum as a cold sweat broke out across my back. "What about my wife?" I asked, trying to keep my voice steady, though panic was rising in my chest. He looked around again, then stepped closer. "She's in trouble, Tom. I've been trying to reach you for hours, but I couldn't get through. It's urgent. I think you need to know the truth about what's been going on." "Slow down," I said, my voice trembling. "What are you talking about?" Mark's eyes flicked to the ground. He seemed to struggle with what to say next. "I don't know how to say this, but your wife, she's been having an affair." The words hit me like a punch to the gut. I felt my breath catch. For a moment, I couldn't speak. My mind raced, trying to make sense of what I'd just heard. "What do you mean?" "You're lying," I said, shaking my head. "She wouldn't do that. She loves me." Mark looked me in the eye. "I'm not lying. I've seen it. I've been trying to get you to see the truth, but Lily's been hiding it from you for months. I couldn't stand by and watch you stay in the dark." I stood frozen, trying to process his words. But the more I thought about it, the more little things came flooding back. The late nights at work, the sudden private phone calls, the distant look in her eyes when I asked about her day. But I couldn't accept it. Not yet. Not without proof. "Why should I believe you?" I asked. "I have proof," he said quietly. "I can show you everything." At that moment, I realized I had a choice. I could slam the door in his face and pretend everything was fine, or I could listen to him, face the possibility that everything I believed about my life was a lie. I stepped aside, still unsure if this was a setup. But something inside me told me I needed to hear what he had to say. "Come in," I whispered. Mark entered and sat down on the couch. He pulled out his phone and showed me the pictures. Clear, undeniable photos of Lily with another man, kissing in public, laughing together at a restaurant, looking comfortable. Too comfortable. I felt sick. My head spun, and the weight of the truth came crashing down. Lily had been hiding something from me for months, and I had no idea. But Mark wasn't done. He told me he had seen them together multiple times. They were meeting in secret, lying to everyone. Lily had been keeping her distance from me, pretending everything was fine while leading a double life. I didn't know what to do. My mind was reeling, and all I could think about was confronting her. Just then, I heard it, a car door slamming outside. Lily was home. My heart pounded in my chest. "Mark, you need to leave," I said urgently. "She's back. I have to talk to her." He nodded, grabbing his jacket. "I understand. But Tom, whatever happens next, remember this. You deserve to know the truth." He left, and I stood there frozen. The front door opened. There she was. Lily stood in the doorway with a tired smile, completely unaware of the storm that was waiting for her. "Tom," she said softly, "what's wrong? Why aren't you ready for dinner?" I looked at her. The images of her betrayal burned into my mind. I couldn't hide the hurt. "Lily," I said, my voice shaking, "we need to talk." She paused, sensing something in my tone. "About what?" "About you and him." The words came out sharper than I intended. She went pale. "What are you talking about?" I showed her the photos. "How long were you planning to keep this from me?" Her expression twisted, from shock to guilt to something unreadable. Fear, maybe. She opened her mouth, but no words came out. Finally, she collapsed onto the couch, burying her face in her hands. I never meant for this to happen. I don't know how it all went wrong. The night ended in silence. The man I had trusted with everything, the woman I had loved, both had shattered my world. I didn't know what came next. Divorce? Forgiveness? All I knew was that everything I thought I understood about love, loyalty, and trust had been turned upside down. I share this story with you because even in the most perfect-seeming relationships, things can be hidden beneath the surface. And when they come to light, they can break you. If you've been through something similar or know someone who has, please share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more real stories like this. Remember, trust is everything in a relationship. And sometimes the hardest part is accepting the truth, no matter how painful it is. Thank you for listening. Stay strong and never ignore your gut feelings. You deserve honesty and loyalty always.